We are South Jersey Ghost Research, a professional research and assistance group that has been helping people in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, and New York City since 1955. Our members come from all walks of life, from students to teachers, from police officers to psychologists, parents and grandparents. Each brings their own unique perspective and personal experiences to the group, and all volunteer their free time to assist people who need our help. SJGR is one of the few groups that uses the latest in scientific equipment together with psychic investigators. We use this to validate both the scientific and psychic information that we collect. We use all means at our disposal to assist those who contact us for help. Our goal is to help people who are experiencing problems with hauntings in their homes or businesses. Many of our members have lived in haunted homes, so we are intimately familiar with many of the issues and concerns people have. Our assistance is always completely free. SJGR is very active in our community. We help local groups and historical societies with fundraisers and lectures. We also volunteer our time to clean up local cemeteries and overgrown graveyards. Orbs are the most common anomaly caught in photos. They are simply balls of energy that appear to be in the semi-infrared spectrum of light, and they can be found anywhere. They are not considered high-quality evidence, but research has shown that orbs are captured in photos in above normal percentages in areas that have reported spirit activity. We've also recorded some of these orbs simultaneously and in motion on our infrared video equipment. Mist photos are less common, but much more dramatic. No one is really sure what causes mist photos. Theories range from it being a highly concentrated area of energy to an apparition trying to materialize. There is no smoking allowed near an investigation site, and 50% of the mist photos are obtained when the temperature is well above 60 degrees with low humidity. This rules out many possible natural causes for these photos. We've conducted many photo experiments, so we will be able to identify such things as dust, cold breath, and hair. This helps us eliminate many false positive photos. Obtaining authentic full-bodied apparition photos is extremely rare, but in March 2008, SJGR combined digital photography with night vision optics and got some pretty remarkable results. This is a photo taken at the Burlington County Prison Museum. It shows the empty doorway at the top of the stairs to the second floor. The photo was taken using a digital camera mounted behind an infrared night vision scope. In this photo, you can clearly see the semi-transparent outline of a person standing in that same doorway. There are two unexplained elements to this photo. First, a streak of light that appears. There was no flash used, and the hallway was completely dark, so we cannot explain this. Also notice what appears to be a man standing now on the right side of the doorway. All three of these photos were taken consecutively, with less than 10 seconds in between each photo. This photo was taken in the Cooperstown Meeting House in Beverly, New Jersey. We used a different night vision scope and a different digital camera. The photo contains what appears to be someone in a hooded robe kneeling in one of the pews. This photo was taken in the locker room of a spa in Delaware. The apparition at the end of the hall is one of the most solid apparitions we've captured since we've started to use the infrared night vision scopes combined with the digital cameras. In addition to cameras, we use many other pieces of equipment. This is an example of a modern ghost researcher's toolbox. We use passive infrared motion sensors, which sound an audible alarm when something with a large infrared heat signature, seen or unseen, passes through the area it's covering. Non-contact infrared thermometers allow us to detect appearing and quickly disappearing temperature fluctuations. EMF meters help us find unexplainable electromagnetic field fluctuations, which are commonly found in areas that are reported to be haunted. We use a variety of audio recorders to record spirit voices, known as electronic voice phenomena. While SJGR spends most of its time helping people in private homes and businesses, we also like to investigate local legends and historic buildings. Built in 1840, the red brick mansion is not the only building on the site. There are several other buildings remaining from this 19th century mill village, which is set along the Rancocas Creek. Its most famous occupant and resident spirit is Hezekiah B. Smith, who purchased the property in 1865. SJGR conducted a 6-month-long investigation of the mansion complex. The buildings that we investigated included the mansion, the barn, the old schoolhouse, and the annex. The Smithville Mansion Complex is one of the most haunted sites we have ever investigated. Among the evidence that we collected were EVPs, infrared video clips of orbs in motion, and unexplainable EMF readings. Our motion sensors detected movement in areas and rooms that were completely empty.
Yeah.
Many psychic impressions were also obtained in the different buildings of Smithville. Sounds and smells and apparitions were seen, and one investigator heard a voice telling him to refer to the spirit in the room as Mr. Smith. Fort Mifflin was the site of a bloody Revolutionary War battle in November of 1777. It's known as the Fort that Saved America. It was also a POW and political prisoner camp during the Civil War. The fort also has a long documented history of hauntings. Hundreds of witnesses have seen apparitions of soldiers or the blacksmith. Many have heard voices, or the screams of a woman believed to be Elizabeth Pratt. This map highlights the areas of activity we encountered during our investigations here. This is the West Sally Port. This is an area of the fort where many people died during the siege of 1777. We encountered very strange physical symptoms, as well as a door opening and closing on its own. On 2 separate investigations, the motion sensors we set up in the powder magazine detected movement in areas that were empty. This is casemate number 5.
This is the area where the most EVPs were reported during our investigations. This is a rare photo of an apparition. It was taken in casemate number 5 at random during some attempts to record EVPs. The dark, faceless figure on the left-hand side of the photo matches the descriptions many people have given of one of the resident ghosts. This Ocean City landmark was built in 1923. Guests and employees have reported ghost activity in the hotel for many years. Hundreds of people have reported seeing the apparition of a young woman that has been named Emily by the staff. She has been seen in many areas, but most often in the Hall of Mirrors and the basement area known as the Catacombs. The descriptions of Emily were used by the artist who painted this portrait, which is on the wall just outside of the Hall of Mirrors.
Emily, were you the one that walked past me earlier? Emily, were you the one that walked past me earlier? Emily, were you the one that walked past me earlier?
This photo was taken in a ballroom just off the Hall of Mirrors, in which a motion sensor had detected movement in an empty part of the room. The basement area of the Flanders is a labyrinth of rooms known as the Catacombs, which were once used as speakeasies during Prohibition. In the next two photos, an investigator reports that a spirit matching the description of Emily has just walked up behind her. In addition to the positive photos we obtained, we also obtained infrared video clips of orbs, EMF readings, and an above average amount of EVPs.
The prison was built in 1811 and was designed by the famous architect Robert Mills. It is a large rectangle building made of stone and iron that looks more like a castle from the outside. It was used continuously as a jail until 1966. Since then, local legends spoke of the ghosts that inhabit the building. One in particular was the ghost of Joseph Clow, a convicted murderer who killed his mistress with a leg from a table. He was held in the death row cell, which consisted of an eye hook in the floor to which he was always chained. He was eventually hanged in the 1850s, but guards and prisoners still reported hearing his moans and chains rattling from that cell. The guards and inmates also reported seeing someone in the empty cell, as well as objects levitating in and near the cell. In 1999, the county began a restoration project transforming the rundown building into a museum and returning it to its original condition. As the work progressed, the construction workers began reporting strange events such as loud noises, voices, and screams coming from various areas of the building. They also reported having their tools disappear when they turned their backs, only to find the missing items in another room or on another floor later on in the day. Eventually, some workers were leaving early so they would not be the last ones left in the building. The county officials decided to contact South Jersey Ghost Research to see if they could verify the claims of the workers and to put their minds at ease. We also experienced objects moving as well, as did 3 reporters from the New York Times that were with us. A stretcher that was located in the cell next to the death row cell relocated itself across the room, and it was actually the reporters who noticed this first. Some members of SJGR observed an apparition in one part of the building, and we also found a single bare footprint on a dust-covered floor of what was once the prison showers. The Grand Army of the Republic Civil War Museum and Library occupies a 3-story brick building built by Dr. John Rawn in 1796. It is home to a unique and historic collection of Civil War and Grand Army of the Republic artifacts, books, and memorabilia. During our investigations here, we obtained an above-normal amount of positive EMF readings. Our motion sensors were tripped by unseen movement on numerous occasions, and we also obtained a high level of electronic voice phenomena.
I did see something moving there. I did see something moving there. I did see something moving there.
This photo was taken when one of the cell sensor EMF meters detected an unexplainable electromagnetic field fluctuation in this room. There were multiple EMF readings detected by stationary EMF meters in this room throughout the investigation.
Betsy Ross never owned this house, but rented here between the years of 1773 and 1786. There have been many reports of ghost activity in this building by visitors and the staff. People have reported seeing apparitions, hearing voices, and being touched. SJGR was given unrestricted access to the house and the annex. This photo was taken in the annex, where the team reported a voice sighing loudly that was not heard at the time of the recording. This photo was taken in the guest bedroom, when one of the investigators began to have heart palpitations and chest pains. She felt someone may have died of a heart attack in this room. This positive photo was taken in the master bedroom. In addition to the positive photos, the SJGR team also felt as if they were being touched on the 3rd floor, saw an apparition, and recorded some EVPs.